Mr. Archer has very carefully picked out the clothes he's going to wear today. But it looks like Mrs. Archer doesn't agree with his tastes.
I have an appointment with Judge Andrews this morning. Have to be careful how I look.
Of course, dear.
You know how impressed he is with people's appearance. You know, I actually think the wrong choice of tie might influence one of his decisions.
I know.
Well, there's nothing the matter with that. Guess I know how to impress the old boy, huh?
You have a wonderful taste, Harry.
Thank you, dear.
Oh, just one game. I so seldom beat you at anything.
That's because we so seldom play anything.
Please.
No.
You're so agile, so strong, so muscular, and so athletic.
Yeah. I'm the most agilest, strongest, muscular, athletic weakling I ever met.
I'm sure I was only lucky before. You'll win this time. Which one do you want?
What difference does it make?
I'll take this one.
Oh. Oh, well, I'll take that one. Hey, Corliss.
Yes?
Yeah, I'll take that side.
Okay.
Hello, kid.
Hi, Daddy. Oh, that was a terrific shot, Dexter. Oh, you're wonderful, Dexter. Oh, simply fabulous, Dexter. Did it again, Dexter. It's silly to go on. You're so superior.
Well, it's just a question of an irresistible force meeting a movable object. Tell you what, I'll go get the car, we'll go down to the park, and we'll pitch some horseshoes, okay?
Corliss. Sit down. I was watching you. I may be mistaken, but it seems to me that you threw that game to Dexter.
Uh-huh. But don't you dare tell him.
I don't understand. People don't usually play against each other without trying to win.
Well, sometimes it's absolutely, imperatively, especially necessary.
Why so especially?
Well, a man must always win.
Hmm?
It's a myth. Women must keep living forever.
Well, where did you glean that priceless gem of information?
I thought everybody knew that. I gotta go, Daddy. There's Dexter.
Every man knows he's superior to his woman, as long as she lets him think he is.
I just saw Corliss deliberately let Dexter beat her at ping pong.
I wonder why.
I asked her. She said she was preserving the myth of male supremacy.
How peculiar. Now, take it easy. None of those fancy tricks of yours.
2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to have a talk with her.
Oh, I wouldn't, dear. It's just a notion. She'll get over it.
Yes, I'm interested in where she got the notion. Gin.
Oh, dear.
How much?
29.
You ought to watch the cards more carefully, dear. You gave me my gin card.
I try, but you have so much better card sense.
I'm not doing so badly. You owe me $17,266. Well, but you didn't have 29. Well, you could have laid these down. You only had one.
Oh, well, I must have counted the 4 9s.
Oh. Oh, yes. Janet, you've never had any trouble with arithmetic. 4 9s is 36.
Well, everybody makes mistakes.
You only had one. You could have gone down and beaten me.
That's right, I could have. Stupid of me, wasn't it?
Janet, something tells me Corliss got that advice from her mother.
Really, dear, there's nothing to be upset about. Corliss beat Dexter at ping pong, and he was unhappy. So she was unhappy. So I told her to let him win.
Meaning that his male ego would blossom at the victory.
A bit poetic, but true.
And you've been blossoming my male ego by letting me win?
Not all the time. Just sometimes. And you have to admit you like to win.
You don't have to bolster my ego. I can lose to a woman as gracefully as to anybody else.
Anybody else is not your wife.
No, that's not so. I admit there's some things you can do better than I do, but there are a lot of things that I'm superior at. Well, I mean, there are a lot of things I can do better than you can.
Well, of course you can, dear.
Much better gardener than you are. You don't know anything about plumbing. And when it comes to driving a car.
Oh, now just a minute.
Of course you won't admit it, your woman's superiority. But there are lots of other things, like,
Like electrical work, dear?
yeah. Now, where would you be if I weren't around here to fix things?
Plug it in.
What do you mean, plug it in? It's fine. I fixed it.
Plug it in.
I don't know what you're trying to prove. I fixed it.
Please, plug it in.
All right. There. See? It's always worked when I fixed it before. Hasn't it? Now, I suppose you're going to tell me that you send for an electrician every time I fix it.
No. There are only 2 wires to connect, and I just happen to know where to connect them.
Maybe the trouble is that toaster is DC and Mr. Archer is AC. Certainly, as an electrician, Mr. Archer is AC. AC. That stands for A clunk.
You did it again. Gee, I didn't know you were so good at horseshoes.
Oh, it's just one of my minor accomplishments.
15 to nothing. And I always thought I was pretty good.
Well, you are, Corliss. For a woman. I mean, I enjoy playing with you and all, but I couldn't expect any competition.
That's what I love about you, Dexter. You're so masculine.
That's so true.
Sorry I couldn't make the game more interesting.
Oh, that's all right, Corliss. I love you anyway, even though you are a member of the inferior sex.
If Dexter could pitch woo the way Corliss can pitch horseshoes, he wouldn't have to make such a pitch to make his love song stay on pitch.
He was so angry he was absolutely drooling with an inner fury.
I don't think your father feels so good either. He found out about the toaster.
Well, we certainly proved they're not so superior. But if Dexter doesn't see me again, I'm going to feel awfully inferior without a man.
Well, I wouldn't worry too much, Corliss. When we get home, just remember to let them carry the packages. That's one thing women can be completely honest about. Men are stronger. Those men drive this.
Hiya, Mr. Archer.
Hello, Dexter. You know anything about toasters?
No, over at our house, my mother always fixes them. Mr. Archer, I have a terrible problem.
Happy to be of assistance. What's your problem?
Well, you know the way I feel about Corliss.
I have a general idea, yes.
I love her, Mr. Archer. I love her unselfishly. Many's the time I've taken Corliss to the movies, even though I couldn't hold her hand.
Why not?
Well, on my allowance, she usually sits in the orchestra and I sit in the balcony. And when I buy popcorn, I always let her eat the top part with the butter, and I eat the dry.
Oh, Dexter, you're noble.
And after the show is over, even though it's past my bedtime, do I run home and go to bed? No, I walk her right to the door and kiss her goodnight.
Dexter, you're a great sport.
Well, it's all over now. There's nothing for us. A woman should respect a man for his accomplishments. And that's all right, except for one thing.
What?
I haven't got any accomplishments.
Oh, now, Dexter.
No, Mr. Archer, it's true. I'm a miserable nothing. I used to think I was pretty good, too. And then I found out Corliss can beat me in almost everything. Ping pong, horseshoes, tennis.
Dexter, I think you should be proud of her accomplishments. Or ping pong, or tennis, whatever it is she does well. Women should be treated as an equal. What if she is better at a few little things? Remember, women are people. Does she get this thing together?
You know, Mr. Archer, I think you have the same problem I do. Only yours is more serious. You're stuck with Mrs. Archer.
Stuck with her? Dexter, I want you to understand that I love Mrs. Archer very deeply. I respect her abilities. She's a magnificent woman. There's just one thing she's got to understand, and that is I can fix this toaster just as well as she can any day in the week. Here, Dexter, plug it in.
No, sure, Mr. Archer. There.
Now.
There. You know, that little wire you were fooling with, maybe if you connected it with the... Maybe you forgot to put this in, too.
Thank you, Dexter.
Going someplace, dear?
No.
Dexter, these packages are so heavy and you're so strong.
Oh, sure, Corliss. I'll take them. I wouldn't want you to strain yourself.
We bought material for the cutest mother and daughter dresses. We're going to make them ourselves.
You're strong, too. And I could use a little help.
My dear Janet, your little ruse might have been good enough to placate Dexter's adolescent feelings, but not me. I'm a big boy now.
Well, I don't know what you mean.
For 15 years, you've been driving up to the kitchen entrance, carrying your bundles approximately 4 steps to the kitchen door. But today, after an interestingly revealing game of gin, you decide to smooth my ruffled male ego. And how are you to accomplish this miracle of healing? By appealing to the brute strength of your male protector.
Well, I tried.
Dexter, don't fall for that helpless female act.
Really, dear, there's no reason to be angry.
Who's angry? I freely admit that you're an outstanding gin player, a fabulous fixer of non-toasting toasters, but I can't admit that's sufficient reason for you to feel superior.
I feel superior.
For your edification, let me review some of the outstanding achievements of men. Who are the world's greatest scientists? Who are the presidents of almost all our universities? Who are the great astronomers?
Professional football players?
You can laugh, but it isn't funny. Now take the woman's world. Who are the best cooks? Men. Who are the best designers of dresses? Men.
I can just picture you and Dexter sitting at a sewing machine making us dresses.
I couldn't.
I suppose you think that we couldn't make you dresses.
Oh, Daddy, that's silly.
I'll bet if I put my mind to it, I could make a dress just as well as you could.
Yes, dear, I'm sure you could.
Could what?
Make a dress just as good as I could.
Well, I'm glad we could as long as we don't. Come on, Corliss, let's go down to Schroeder's.
All right. But I still think it's silly, you sewing up a hem.
Wait a minute. Corliss. You have no respect for men's ability, have you?
Well, of course. Only there are certain things men can't do.
Can't?
Think twice, Mr. Archer.
Corliss, get me that material.
What are you going to do?
Dexter and I are going to make those dresses.
Oh, you can't be serious, Harry.
Absolutely. If you can fix a toaster, Dexter and I can make these dresses. Come, Dexter.
Mr. Archer, I don't think you should have said we could do it.
The gauntlet was thrown. I picked it up.
Looked like to me that you were doing all the throwing. Don't you have to know something about sewing?
Well, here's the material, here are the patterns, and here are the instructions.
Yeah, but don't you have to know something about it?
Well, what is there to know? Well, it's easier than preparing a legal brief, believe me. Now, listen to this. Number 1, read instructions printed on each pattern piece while working with it. Number 2, work in units, such as bodice, sleeve, and skirt.
Mr. Archer, what's a bodice?
Oh, something around here. Number 3, stay, stitch, cross, grain, curve, and bias edges. Stay, stitch, cross, grain, curved or bias edges. Well, number 1 and 2. Here, now, let's get to work. You take the material and stretch it out.
Yeah, okay.
Go ahead. No further. Go ahead, keep going. More. No, that's enough, Dexter. That's enough, Dexter. That's enough. Dexter!
It seems to be stuck.
Dexter!
Mr. Archer, I got the... Mr. Archer? Mr. Archer? Mr. Archer? Mr. Archer!
Here I am, Dexter.
Where were you?
Never mind. Close the door. Now, how can anybody work with this when it's this long? Dexter, get the scissors there in the desk drawer. Oh. All we have to do is cut around these and then sew them together. Now, here. You cut around that. And, here. I'll get the sewing machine out. Dexter, come here. How do you thread this thing?
Oh, I know.
How?
Mrs. Archer!
Dexter.
Huh?
There's no use our both doing nothing. You make me nervous. Go on back. Got it. Well, I am ready whenever you are. You almost ready?
Yeah, almost, Mr. Archer.
Good.
There. All done.
Oh, fine. Bring it over here.
Pretty good, huh?
Hmm? Oh, yeah.
You want to sew a hem?
Yeah.
Boy, when we started this thing, I thought we'd never get it finished. Just wait until Corliss tells me how complicated sewing a dress is, boy. I'll laugh at her.
Well, I told you it was simple. All you have to do is read the directions.
Oh, pretty nifty.
Yeah, that's got it. Well. Lining?
They say a stitch in time saves 9. By the time those two males get through stitching, they'll be lucky to save their own skin.
I knew I'd have to do this myself. Now, try to understand, Dexter. We're trying to prove a point. It's a burning question.
Sure is.
Now, we're trying to prove that a woman's job can be done equally well by a man. We're fighting fire with fire.
Yeah.
An effort not to be laughed at. We're carrying the torch for the honor of all men. Now, here we are. All we have to do is sew these together, and we're in business.
Right.
Where are the directions? I smell smoke.
Yeah, me too. You know, they say where there's smoke, there's fire. There they are, the instructions. 98.
Fine. We're up to 26.
We'll never get it done now.
No, we're not defeated yet, Dexter. Now, here are pictures of the way the dresses should look. All we have to do is put these together to look like the dresses.
That's all, huh?
Well, where's your fighting spirit, Dexter? Where's your gumption? Now, look, we're no longer fighting for masculine supremacy. We're fighting for equality. We may be down, but we're not out. We're out, all right.
I feel unconscious.
Dexter, I've got it. They're going to get those dresses, and they're going to be beautiful.
If we make them, it's impossible.
No. You know Mrs. Gale, the dressmaker?
Go down, Locust?
Mm-hmm. That's the one. Now, you go down to the store, get 20 more yards of the same material, a couple of patterns. Take them to Mrs. Gale. Ask her to make them up in a hurry. Tell her I'll pay her double. Tell her I'll pay her triple. Get going.
Yeah, okay.
No, not that way. No? No, you'll be seen out the window.
You know, Mr. Archer, for a man, you're pretty smart.
Mr. Archer is a brilliant man in many respects, but as a dressmaker, well, he's only so-so.
Oh, hello, Dexter.
Hiya, Mrs. Gale. And Mrs. Gale, you gotta make these dresses in a hurry. I bought 40 yards of material. I hope it's enough.
40 yards? Well, what are they for, dresses or a tent?
Well, it's because Corliss beat me at ping pong.
I don't understand.
Well, you see, if Mr. Archer could have fixed the toaster, we never would have started the dresses in the first place.
Who started what dresses?
Me and Mr. Archer, it's a question of superiority.
Whose superiority?
I hope you don't feel that way about men over women.
Oh, Dexter, please, let's start all over again now at the beginning.
Yeah, okay. Mr. Archer says you can have double or triple.
Double or triple what?
Oh, double or triple anything you make as long as you make it in a hurry. In other words, it's a question of superiority.
Oh, Dexter, I'm not going to ask you any more questions.
Well, I hope I made myself clear.
Now, look, Dexter, there are two patterns. Here's the material, and I'm to make two dresses. Now, Mr. Archer wants them rushed.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said.
Now, are there any other instructions? Think carefully, Dexter.
Well, just fix the dresses as good as Mrs. Archer fixes the toaster. Here. Oh, if you need any more material, we'll get it for you.
You can't blame that poor dressmaker if she's a little confused. Dexter's explanations are so profuse, they'd confuse anyone who wouldn't refuse to blow a fuse by listening.
Corliss, you better go and see what they're doing. They've been in there for hours.
Okay.
Oh, look. Harry, you've finished.
Actually finished.
It's lovely.
Oh, beautiful.
And the seams, why, they're so professional.
Oh, Mom, I'm dying to see how they look. Let's try them on.
Yes, so am I.
Aren't they cute?
Yours is just beautiful, and so is mine.
Well, there you are, Dexter. Little masculine ingenuity, and everything turns out fine.
Yeah, we sure are smart, but we didn't make those dresses, did we, Mr. Archer?
No, I admit that, but we could have.
Yeah, we could have, but we didn't. I think that proves one point.
What's that?
We are inferior.
Oh, don't say that, Dexter. We could have made those things. We just had a few unfortunate experiences. Things could have happened to anyone.
Yeah, anyone but a woman. My mother doesn't usually smoke cigars while she's sewing.
Hold on, Dexter. Wasn't all my fault you cut up the drapes.
I know, that's because I'm a man. Let's face it, neither one of us would make much of a living as a dressmaker.
No, if you put it that way, I guess we wouldn't.
Well, while I'm putting it that way, you know what I think? I think Corliss is a better ping pong player than I am, and I think Mrs. Archer's a better electrician than you are.
I'd never admit it outside this room, but it's the cold, horrible, devastating truth.
Sure. So, why don't we just tell them we didn't make the dresses?
Oh, Dexter, we can't do that. That would upset the equilibrium of the sexes.
Huh?
Dexter, you know they're superior, I know they're superior, but if you tell them they're superior, we'll never walk straight again.
Yeah, but my scoutmaster said truth.
Your
is the
scoutmaster was never married. No, Dexter, you're a little too young to understand, but please take my word for it. A man has got to be superior, regardless of the fact that he's inferior.
Beautifully, and yours is oh, it's just the way I wanted it to look.
Oh, it's the prettiest dress I've ever seen, Dexter.
Well, I can hardly believe it. It's stunning.
Well, we knew we could do it. Oh, by the way, while I was working, the sewing machine went on the blink, and I fixed it.
Oh, not my lovely sewing machine.
It works 1,000% better. Come on, I'll show you.
Oh.
There you are. Plug it in.
Oh, I'd rather not.
Oh, stop being silly. I'll show you. I'm pleading the Felton case today. I have to be in court early.
Well, if you're half as successful with the case as you were with those dresses, you'll win easily. You know, you are a very accomplished fellow.
Well, we were pretty lucky they turned out the way they did.
Oh, don't be modest. You did a wonderful job, and you know it.
Well, just goes to show you what a man can do when he puts his mind to it. Goodbye, dear.
Goodbye. Hello, Mrs. Gale. This is Mrs. Archer. I just want to thank you for the beautiful job you did on those dresses. Yes, they look lovely.